Hey, I'm Chey, and if there's one thing I love, it's loving love and spooky things. Ready? Rollin'. Look, she's back. If y'all have been around since the introduction of the sweater, you may be a real one. You may be entitled to financial compensation. How we doing? Valentine's Day is coming up. Whether you are in a relationship, in a situationship, whatever, it's on its way. Now, while I may venture to make another self-date Valentine's Day video like last year, which was a really fun thing to do, had a very good time, I also did a romance reading vlog because I'm not a romance reading girly. But I surprisingly had a very good time last year in 2023. I wanted to make a Halloween vlog, like a whole week-long Halloween vlog, because Halloween is my favorite holiday. I go all out. I get dressed up. My house is basically decorated for Halloween 24/7. However, a bunch of life circumstances happened, like one right after another, and I did not get the opportunity to film basically anything, let alone a themed, planned out, structured kind of vlog full of events and activities like I wanted. Wanted that kind of vlog to be both a reading vlog, but also just a fun holiday theme vlog. Well, it's been bothering me I haven't been able to do that video, and throughout the months I have just been like, how can I make this relevant? Because I have all these like spooky or spooky themed, spooky element books that I want to read and activities that I want to do, but I just, what do I theme it around? Because it's no longer Halloween. So here's my compromise. Valloween, Valentine Halloweens. This is gonna be a Valloween vlog. In this vlog, I'm just gonna be embracing the spirit of Halloween. I'm gonna be doing some Halloween themed stuff, some Valentine's themed stuff, mostly trying to mesh it together, but having a little bit of both here and there. And it kind of helps that the two holidays have a lot in common. I mean, you can get dressed up. Depends on what your definition of dressing up is. I don't know about you, I feel like I'm in a costume. Elaborate evening plans, oftentimes. An emphasis on candy. I love Valentine's Day. I love love. I love trying to better love myself. I love trying to find ways to better show love to others. I also love the scary and dark and creepy stuff. You can do both. We contain multitudes, as is said. That being said, there still is going to be a reading element to this vlog. However, it's not just going to be a reading vlog alone. It's just, think of it more as a themed vlog with reading. The first book that we have is Jaws by Peter Benchley. This book and this movie need no introduction. I've seen the movie a lot. It's about time I read the book. I'm also a big shark lover, so I'm not expecting to be a huge fan of the book, but we'll see where it takes us. The next book is The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. I read My Best Friend's Exorcism. It wasn't one of my favorite books of all time, but I really enjoyed it. Mostly I loved the humor and the writing style, from what I remember. It was the last book I ever read while I was on campus at Georgetown, and it was just kind of fitting because if you don't know, Georgetown University is where The Exorcist was filmed. So, it felt like a fitting end to say goodbye to the university. This book was very popular a few years ago. I am just very late to the train, very late to the game, so what better time to read it than now? The one that I am most worried about being able to finish is Christine by Stephen King. I have read From a Buick 88 from Stephen King and then The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon, but I have seen the movie Christine many times since I was a child. I come from a car family. If you don't know, I am named after a truck. That is not a fake story. That is a true story, and that's often my icebreaker at parties. So growing up, my family liked car horror themed things. For a long time, I did not know that the movie Christine was based on a book. This is said book. From what I remember, I really like said movie, but I haven't seen said movie in years, so my plan is to finish reading this, and this is like 600 pages, then I'm gonna watch the movie. Number one, to see if I like this, but number two, to see if I still like the movie. I'm sure it's dated a little bit by now, but I'm big into retro kind of nostalgic horror, so. But what else are you planning? What the heck else is going on in this vlog? That's the beauty of it, I don't really know. I'm gonna be honest, I straight up don't know. Since the concept of Halloween is new to me, it's gonna be an interesting experiment to see me in real time take those planned Halloween-themed activities and put a new spin, put a new twist on them for this new holiday theme. I haven't really planned too much in advance. I'm just kind of gonna go off my old list and just fill out the vibes as I go. What I can tell you is that there's gonna be candy, there's gonna be love, there's gonna be movies. I'm gonna be doing some of the stereotypical stuff for each holiday, but providing it a twist with the other holiday. So, romance movie for Valentine's Day? Make it a scary romance movie. Like, I don't know, My Bloody Valentine? My Bloody Valentine been doing Halloween before y'all even knew it was a concept. I'm just teasing. Yes, the Jensen and Ackles version is superior. I will die on this hill. Don't come at me. There's just something about Jensen Ackles with a pickaxe going crazy, going loco that... Happy Valentine's Day. Don't come at me. I just really like this movie, and it's the only movie that has ever made me consider getting a Ford. Don't tell my mom I said that. Then I do have some vlogging clips that I did manage to get before life went crazy. So you will be seeing them probably at the beginning of this vlog, right after the intro. Just for context, just to catch you up to speed. I guess that means we'll just get started then. Because without further ado, love you! Hey girl, it's just spooky Valentines. And that's all you gotta say. That's literally the entire concept. It's just making Valentine's spooky. It's spooky Valentine's. It's not that deep. It's really not. Okay. Bye. Hey, Chey here. I just want to take a quick second to preface this next clip with some info. Around Halloween, our local historical society conducts a graveyard tour by having some actors dress up as some of the most famous and interesting people from the county, and you can tour the graveyard and hear the actors speak as them and tell these real-life people's stories. There's one lady every year that's our favorite because the lady she plays, I can't even tell you, her story is just so freaking wild and unhinged. And part of it is that when she was alive, she was known for sitting on her front porch with a shotgun constantly and would shoot at you if you got too close. So this actor always hides behind the actual Miss Lizzie's tombstone, and when the tour group approaches, she jumps out and shoots off a blank round to scare everyone, and at the end, fires another one, yelling at people to get off her grave. It's really funny, and she's my absolute favorite, and I want to participate in this so badly. Anyway, please support your local historical societies and libraries. Sometimes we are the only way stories are passed down.
Well, lucky group number 6, I'm out of bullets.
Dang it.
Dang it!
Miss Elizabeth Pillow Porter. That is Miss Lizzie to all of you. I was born in 1865, but I didn't die until 1960. Lived a very long life. And most folks don't remember me in my younger days, but I had traveled the world. Came from that very prominent Pillow family here in Murray County. But most folks do remember me in my old age. Had a big rambling house on the corner of West 6th and North High. Looked haunted, it was falling down. Had tombstones in the front yard. They were my family members, I just never had them placed. I prefer to use them as stepping stones. And I had a ton of chickens. Many folks who remember me would remember me sitting on my front porch. Didn't matter if it was wintertime or summertime. I had my full-length fur coat, pistol in my pocket, and rifle laid across my lap. And if you dared walk in front of my house, I would shoot at you.
Yeah.
But don't worry, Bowser Frakes would always come and replace my bullets with blanks. When I died, it created a lot of interest in town. A lot of folks said that old witch is dead. And every week a new article came out in the Daily Herald. $10,000 in cash found in Miss Lizzie's house in the back. $30,000 in gold coins found in Miss Lizzie's. We're auctioning Miss Lizzie's entire estate. I didn't have any family left, didn't have any friends. And a lot of folks were curious about all the stuff they found in my home. So much so that they took all my property to the American Legion. And the week before my auction, they charged admission for folks to come in and look at all my belongings. And everybody wanted something of Miss Lizzie's. And even though I didn't really like anybody in Murray County, they sure benefited from my estate. The Murray County Public Library, that was built with the proceeds from my auction. So y'all get off my grave and leave me alone! What are y'all doing? Get off my grave! Ow! I'd shoot you if I had bullets!
Happy Halloween! Let's go on a little self-date today, shall we? Don't laugh at this. You can laugh at it. I spent like an hour on it and I finally just got kind of fed up with it, so this is what we're going with. I know it looks kind of clownish, but it's supposed to be like a skull. It looks better with my glasses off, and I also have my Beartooth cloak hoodie on, and actually cloak pants on, but this is what we're working with. And people ask me what I am, just You know, as usual, your worst nightmare. It's horrifying. Okay, we're in town, and I'm not gonna lie, quite frankly, I'm embarrassed by how I look. But you know what? It's Halloween. I'm kind of supposed to look horrifying. I'm trying to blend it a little bit better because it's just the fact that it's so patchy that makes it look absolutely awful. You know, if it wasn't patchy, it would be fine. But just call me the pirate from SpongeBob because I do be patchy. Otherwise, though, I think it looks fine. I don't really care. I don't care about being dressed up in public. That doesn't bother me. It's never bothered me. But, God, this just looks shoddy. But the thing is if I start taking it off, like the black or the purple part, I gotta take it all off. You know? So it's like all or nothing, pretty much. All or nothing. We're gonna, like, I am genuinely embarrassed though, and I don't even know, like, if I'm gonna go sit down and eat lunch, because I'm just embarrassed. That this looks so crappy, but it was Walmart makeup, so what did I expect? Also, angel hand for a horrifying face. I have tissues back there, but do I want to scrub my face right here? So I'm thinking we go to the antique store, we go to the record store, we go to the other record store, and then we just continue having a chill reading day. Self-date thing. Yeah. I've done some modifications, and I'm gonna apply some more eyeliner stuff to my nose, but I just took a napkin and started scrubbing at my face, and I kinda am okay with this, because this looks purposefully messy. Like, this looks like I'm trying to rot, which is very Halloween-y, you know? Otherwise, like, but before it was just kind of patchy. Now it looks kind of rough on purpose. So I might do a little bit more and then reapply the black to my nose, and then we'll head out. Okay, update. I like this a lot better. We are still not perfect. But look, I added this crack that looks pretty cool that I think makes it look more legit. And also this over here, I'm not quite sure what that is, but I'm going to say it's also a crack. Because I'm going full ghoul anyway. And also I'm not wearing these. I'm taking these with me. Hello. Hello. I'm your worst nightmare. There. That's what I'm wearing. What's up? I'm here to steal your mom. Okay. Record store first, because that is where I feel the most safe and comfortable. Then the antique stores / lunch, maybe, now that I'm feeling more comfortable. Might just grab Chicky Nug Nugs and call it a day. Good, how are you?
Your house. You have no security system, Karen.
It's lunchtime. I don't plan on having a very spooky lunch. It's just nice and sunny outside, and it's wonderful, and I want to utilize this day to read as much as possible. I have been doing really well on video work so far, a lot of admin work, and so I feel okay about going outside, because usually I have a problem where I'm like, no, I can't sit still and be doing something that's not productive. I need to be up, I need to have tangible results to my work. But I have done so much. In fact, I just finished uploading a video, just finished promoting it, that I feel productive enough to where I can actually go outside, read, and work on this as a productive activity, because this is productive. This is a video. Obviously, Chey, I'm working on it, but brain doesn't tend to work that way. So I'm gonna make some lunch, I'm gonna head outside, and start reading. I did already finish a chapter of Jaws. I was trying to kill some time before the video went live. I had like 30 minutes, and I was like, that's enough time to read the first chapter of Jaws. So I went outside, left my phone on charge, just took my book, went and sat on the front porch, read the first chapter. I also read the introduction along with the first chapter, but I'll talk about that later. I want to try and minimize the updates, just, what's the word I'm looking for? Not cohesive, not coagulate, condense. I want to try and condense as many updates together as possible. That way there's not a bunch of jumping back and forth. But I'm going to make some lunch. I'm going to go outside, get some reading done, and we'll talk then. Okay, yeah, I need to keep going. They just found the first body, and the way that the body is described, particularly the woman's remaining blank, looked as flat as a flower pressed in a memory book. I'm not very squeamish, especially like when it comes to things that don't involve me. Like getting my own blood drawn, getting a needle stuck in me, like other people in like movies and books and stuff, it doesn't really bother me because I'm like, that's not my problem. So hearing that, but like the description of that, it's not just that, it's the whole description, but that part really just, bruh. And then, join the crowd, he said, and he vomited too. Me too, bro. Me too. I think that it may be part of her. Well, bro, you're not wrong. I did read a little bit more in Jaws. Haven't read that much more, but I'm feeling pretty good about it. The language that's used in it regarding BIPOC people and also LGBTQ people, I'm like, I'm gonna read a little bit more in the story before I make a better comment on it, but like the introduction of the F word regarding gay people, the F slur, I was like, was that necessary? I know it was the 70s, but like, come on. And also, it is trying to portray like a small town cop who's not meant to be kind of likable. So I get that you could say it's part of the characterization and it's fitting of the character and of the small town mindset, but I'm like, is that necessary? Was that necessary? And then the depiction of, so far the depiction of black men is not great. If I have to play devil's advocate, it is only a depiction of one black male, but the portrayal of, and it was a criminal case, but the way that it's talked about, I'm like, It's real sus, and it's not great. We're gonna see. I'm gonna continue with it, and if it gets really bad, I will let you know, and I will let you know where I stopped, and I will stop it. Besides all of that, which I don't want to just ignore or sweep under the rug because it is important to note and to talk about, besides all of that, I am enjoying the book so far. The writing style is easy to understand, like it's digestible and it's accessible. I really like it, and I like the way that the story is being told. I like the pacing of the story so far. I like a lot about it. It's just that some of the elements, which were just previously discussed, I'm like, let's stop this, and this book would be a lot more enjoyable. If you take that out, I'm really liking this so far. I expected to go into it hating the depiction of sharks, but I will say the introduction, which I don't know when the introduction was first rewritten into the book, like I don't know how many editions later, I did appreciate in the introduction the authors talking about, I didn't realize that the impact that this book was going to have on the environment, like on society, on the world, with like the depiction of sharks and like some people using it for evil and twisting it and stuff. And he makes a point of being like, I love sharks and that's why I wrote this book. And you know what? I was ignorant back then. As much as I did know, I also realized over the years how much I didn't know, because there wasn't a lot of scientific research or studies done on sharks back then. We didn't know that much compared to now. And he makes a point of, over the years, he has made an effort to rectify some of the damage that has come from this book. Also, that there's a lot of good that's come from the book and from the movie, because it started people with an interest in sharks in the environment, wanting to conserve the environment, going into marine biology. But he talks about for himself, like it catapulted further into a lifelong mission to really learn more about sharks and the impact they have on the environment, and trying to help save them and conserve them and learn more about them and study them and really honor them as animals and as part of the ecosystem. He says in the introduction, with knowledge accumulated from dozens of expeditions and hundreds of dives and countless encounters with sharks of many kinds, came the realization that I could never write Jaws today. I could never demonize an animal, especially not an animal that is much older and much more successful in its habitat than man is, has been, or ever will be. An animal that is vitally necessary for the balance of nature in the sea, and an animal that we may, if we don't change our destructive behaviors, extinguish from the face of the earth. I appreciate that. I think that should be plastered across the front of this book, and also should be required reading before you see the movie. As a big shark fan, I can't watch the end of Jaws because I'm just rooting for the shark the entire time. And I'm kind of the same way in this book. I'm rooting for the shark. I don't know what to tell you. But I appreciated that note in the introduction, and that's really the main part of the introduction. Is like, hey, I love sharks, and I realize that this book kind of depicts them as terrible. It's a story. It's a story. Real sharks are, like, very cool, and they do good for the environment, and they don't hunt humans. They're not out to hunt humans or hurt humans. So I really appreciate that. I like that. I'm gonna see how far I can get in this tonight, but I'm gonna make some progress in some of the other books as well, so... How we doing? Yes, I have already changed into my Vegeta sweatshirt, and it is because I've had a revelation. So Valentine's is about love, right? And I've already said that I love love, I love self-love, I love getting better at it, I love finding better ways to show my love for people. And I just finished having a really nice bath, really relaxing bath, watched some YouTube, just chilled out, relaxed, thus why I have changed. And I realized a lot of these plans can be centered on self-love, can be centered on love for others. Platonic love, friendship love, general humanitarian love. But just make it spooky. And because I've been on a journey for a little bit of embracing self-love and trying to get better at it and just trying to get to know myself and love myself, could not be more fitting than to focus on showing myself some good, much-needed love that I have deprived her of for years. So therefore, I think that is going to be a big part of the considerations when trying to find a new twist to the activities, to said planned ideas. Because I can either take the spooky ideas and make them a little bit more lovey-dovey, or I can take lovey-dovey ideas and make them a little bit spooky. The possibilities are endless. Self-love. It's good. February is a great time for it. And now I wish I had like a spooky bath bomb or something left over. That way it would have been the culmination of both the ideas starting us off strong. But I think in a different sort of spirit of that, I think that I am going to focus on reading. I'm really feeling like just spending the night reading, and I think that's what I'm going to do. But I've been reading some of the books that I have planned. I'm really enjoying them. So Jan is having sprints tonight because today is the first day of Jante's Inferno. and I might use some of that time to read some of these books, but I'm also going to focus on the books that I have planned for that readathon. I'm going to make my favorite dinner tonight, and I'm going to have another Oreo, because I love me. But I think reading is a good place to start, because I was feeling really good about it earlier, I was having a fun time, and I'm just still in the mood for it. I don't want to read too late into the night, though, because then it's going to make me paranoid to go to sleep. But it's a good place to start. Then I'll grab some dinner and probably wind down the night just watching YouTube or something. Good morning, Chey here. I have to go to the doctor later today, so this is going to be a relatively quick update, but I just wanted to tell you where I got to in the current reading. After I have my doctor's appointment in the middle of the day is pretty much open. It's supposed to be a really nice day today, so... But that is for the future. In the meantime, let me update you on where I got in my reading. Since this book is in my hand, I'll update you on this first. The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. I got almost 4 chapters. No, I did get 4 chapters into it because I got in the middle of chapter 3 last night and then I woke up and finished chapter 3 this morning. I got 4 chapters in. I'm really liking it. It's not slaying me so far, but it's a fun time. I'm enjoying it. I love books that accurately portray small town politics. This is the one that comes after My Best Friend's Exorcism, and Hendrik says that they wanted to write a book like My Best Friend's Exorcism, but from the point of view of their moms, and so far I think that's pretty accurate. I'm interested to see how it kicks off, because I love the premise of this book club banding together all these bunch of different women with just one common goal in mind, especially under the stifling politics of being in a small town, or at least a town that likes to try and have small town values, but is burgeoning and growing beyond its own comprehension, and just is reluctant to make room for all these new ideas and experiences and just changes to way of life, but yet also recognizing that there's a need to do so. The other book that I've been reading, as I've said, is Jaws. I don't remember where I last updated you on where I'm at in here, but I'm 36 pages into it. I'm not going to go in depth on my thoughts on it because I think I just didn't tell you where I was in the book. All my thoughts are pretty much the same. I didn't read any more since the last I updated you. I will say one thing that is surprising me. I don't know why I thought this way, but it's surprisingly readable. I guess I thought, like, it was, since it was published in the 70s, it was gonna have the language of the 70s, but I really like this writing style. Apart from certain things, certain aspects of it, the writing style itself is really nice. Good to my eyes. I have some time. I wanted to film a video before I go to the doctor's office, or at least get started on one. But my phone isn't charged enough to put it on the stand, and I don't think I brought my camera charger with me, so I can't use my camera. While I'm waiting on my phone to charge to be able to film said video, I think I'm gonna sit here and read for a little bit, and watch my favorite 90s sitcom, Roseanne. I've also got my creepy, spooky, dark hoodie on while doing self-care. Happy Valloween! It'll get more Valloweenish as we go on, I promise. But for right now, I'm just chilling, having a good day. It's really sunny outside. Let's see if you can see Stormy. Hold on. There's Stormy. He's just having a little rest time. He's chilling. Hey y'all, I'm making a quick pit stop after the doctor, wearing my Valentine's themed hoodie because it's pink, get it? But I'm also wearing Halloween socks, so Valloween. So I have to go to Walmart. I'm not enjoying myself, but at least I look kind of cute though, I'm not gonna lie. Gonna reward myself with some hot Cheetos. We back home. I got the goods. I got several other books. Just real quick. Something That May Shock and Discredit You by Daniel M. Lavery. And Kristen Higgins' Pack Up the Moon. I saw This Made Jan Cry, and I too like to sob on occasion, so I got it. Because it was only $4, so what the heck ever. Sorry, I'm picking up a bag off the floor. I showed you my Valentine's themed kind of hoodie, because it's pink. I did not get to show you my Halloween themed socks, which say, "Howdy, pumpkin." Yes, I went out like this in public. What about it? That's embracing the spirit of Halloween, my self-love. I don't care what others think, I love myself. And in honoring that self-love, I do plan on getting another video filmed tonight, but for right now, I think I'm gonna go outside and read some. I'll probably bring books for Jante's Inferno and this challenge, because it's so nice outside. It's so pretty, but I'm just gonna go outside and have a good time, and I'll update you when I come back inside. I don't foresee this going super well. Come here, sweetie. My goodness. The crows are here. Kitty! Kitty. Hi, baby. Do you want me to pet you or not? I guess not. The door is scaring you, huh? Okay. Be safe. Think I might hate myself. Good morning, Halloween, day 3-ish. I got into a little bit of a pickle last night. Said pickle ended up with a bunch of clothes on my floor. I don't want to talk about it. It's a problem I'm going to have to rectify this morning. I'm just here to give you some quick reading updates on where we stand. Where we stand. Hold on, Hamtaro, I'm gonna try to prop you up on Hamtaro. Oh my gosh, I should have done that 10 minutes ago. Alright. You probably don't like looking at me without my glasses, and I agree. There we go. Now I can see how much worse I look in front of you. I did read a little bit more in Jaws last night. I was in such a reading mood yesterday afternoon that when I came home from the doctor and stuff like that, I just wanted to sit down and read. I just wanted to chill out and relax and just have a good time. Where's my Southern Book Club's guide to slaying vampires? What if I need to slay a vampire? Where is it? There's so much stuff on my bed. I hate it. Is it in the living room? I'm gonna be so pissed. I'll just talk to you about Jaws. I read a little bit in Southern Book Club's guide to slaying vampires, but I also read in Jaws. Let's talk about Jaws. I'm on chapter 5. What has happened? We have 3 people dead now. Sheriff Brody is stressing out. He's straight up stressed. And I don't blame him. He's been wanting to close the beach since the first attack. The little kid and the old man just got eaten. And Sheriff Brody is talking about, like, yeah, we should have closed the beach. And, like, the mayor and everyone else is like, yeah, but you're gonna take the blame. You're gonna go down with the rest of us, saying that, like, no, it's a statistical improbability that it's gonna happen again, so you're going down with us. And I'm like, God, how hard is that how is it hard for you to stand without a spine? And I say that as a joke, but, like, I do feel bad for him, kind of. So we have the dead lady, the dead kid, the dead old man, and they keep talking about Hooper, and just, well, this is why we didn't close the boat, or this is why we didn't close the beach, now all the newspapers are all over it. And then, at the end of chapter 5, there's, like, a zoom-out moment to this boat off the coast. And the employees, the crewmates, the shipmates, are talking about this newspaper. We get introduced to Quint. The guys are like, hey, Quint, do you think we're ever going to see that shark? And he's like, yeah, I've seen it. And they're like, you think we'll run into it? And he's like, no. And like, how do you know? And he's like, no, I know. And I'm like, well, what if we go looking for him? And he keeps saying, like, no, we won't. And he said, we're going to stay put, but you know what? Me and that shark are going to find each other. Quint be like, if I see that shark, it's on sight. Meanwhile, Hooper's like, don't hurt him. Don't hurt him. Don't hurt him while here. He needs to be studied. And Quint's like, it's on sight. On God. I am gonna be that shark's God. Like, you tell I just woke up. I didn't have coffee yet. I'm so tired. Okay, Bird, I hear you. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna get some breakfast. I'm gonna get some coffee. Then we'll get started on our day. I do this a lot in, like, every clip. I'm sorry. Happy Sunday, spook tines. I was trying to think of a good way to incorporate Sunday into Halloween, and it didn't happen. It didn't happen. Valloween. I said Halloween again. I was trying to think of a good way to incorporate Sunday into Valloween, and it just didn't happen. But I'm having a good start to my Sunday of this challenge. I will update you on my reading later, but for right now, I have coffee, I have a good pancake, I have a good boy, who cannot have the good pancake, but, you know, he's still a good boy nonetheless. Bless you! I'm at my parents' house right now, just for a few days, helping them with stuff, and Monday we'll be back in my own house, but today's pancake day, so gotta make sure I'm here for pancake day. Self-love, y'all. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, this whole plan to have, like, a spooky Valentine's time has not really been working out in my favor. It's the 12th. I wanted to maybe have this up on the 14th, but I guess I'm just gonna take it to the 14th and then maybe upload it on the Sunday if I can get it edited and done. The truth of the matter is that life has just been crazy with work lately, and it's all self-imposed. Like, I've always been heavy on my work ethic and, like, having a drive and stuff to work on projects and things. But lately, especially, I've just been hyper-fixated on getting a bunch of videos done, and I'm enjoying it. It's just, but, like, you can only put so much focus on so many things at a time. You know, like, you only have...
Picture on channel 17 is snowing like crazy in Dixon.
Is it?
Yeah. I'm almost done.
Are you enjoying it?
Yeah. You gonna finish yours tonight?
No. I'm on page 328. I've read, like, 230 pages.
You're getting tired, ain't you?
Yeah.
You got a lot of reading today.
And I'm also recording. Did you not hear me talking when you came in here? What did you think I was talking to?
Yourself? Are you recording me right now?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. No.
We'll talk in a minute.
I don't know recording.
And that is just what my focus has been dedicated to for, like, the past week or so. And I've just been really in a reading mood, so I've been devouring different books. I'm participating in a readathon. I'm reading for this video. I'm doing a bunch of reading. So, let's talk about my reading update for this video. I don't remember where I told you was Southern Book Club's guide, and I haven't really read that much more in it, but let's talk about Jaws. Because I finished Jaws. I finished it today. I only had 90 pages left, and when I went to work today, I read the rest of it at work. So let's talk about Jaws. I really, really liked it. I still love the writing style. I still love the pacing and the buildup of the story. The exposition. Really enjoyed it. loved it. Very well done. Without getting too into the weeds, because I'm trying to get more succinct on my book reviews, I liked it better than the movie. I don't like the movie. I think it's too gratuitous with the animal violence, to be honest. And I know it's a movie, but like the end of Jaws, where, you know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about. If you've seen Jaws, you know what I'm talking about. But that way, it's still not entirely a spoiler for those who haven't seen it. That ending never sat right with me. I'm like, and during Jaws, like, even when I was little, I was rooting for the shark the entire time. And so to have that end to him, I don't know. It's just never sat right with me. It makes me angry. I cannot watch the end of Jaws. This book has the same ending where the shark dies, but it feels, I wouldn't say more, like, humane necessarily, but it's not as gratuitous. Like, it's not as gratuitous violence. Also, spoiler alert ahead, when Hooper died, when it just said the last thing that Hooper saw, okay, hold on, I need to read, because this is one of the most metal things I've ever read. So, Hooper is down in a shark cage in the ocean, and the shark is, like, bit through the cage, and is, like, coming in after him. And says the fish ran through the space between the bars, spreading them still farther with each thrust of its tail. Hooper, flattened against the back of the cage, saw the mouth reaching, straining for him. He remembered the power head, and he tried to lower his right arm and grab it. The fish thrust again, and Hooper saw with the terror of doom that the mouth was going to reach him. The jaws closed around his torso. Hooper felt a terrible pressure as if his guts were being compacted. He jabbed his fist into the black eye. The fish bit down, and the last thing Hooper saw before he died was the eye gazing at him through a cloud of his own blood. Is that not one of the most metal things you've ever heard in your life? Hooper, while definitely not a beacon of exemplary behavior for a human being, was still probably my favorite character in this book. Besides Brody, like, I understand Brody, but, like, I love Hooper. I was, like, for him. He was the scientist that's just like, you know what? Sharks have rights. I'm gonna say it. Killers have rights. He wanted to study him. He was coming from a compassionate place. And I also just hate Quint. I'm not afraid to say it. I wanted Quint to die the entire time. And at the end of the book, I was very happy. Not as happy as I would have been if it would have been just a gratuitous, just... I think Quint should have went out the way that Hooper went out. Except much worse. In a way, I feel sympathy for Quint because he was funny at times. He was very, very funny. Like, there was a point where they're like, what do we do if we fall over the boat? Like, what if he takes us over the boat? And Quint just goes, pray. But you won't have much of a chance because God threw you overboard in the first place, so I don't know what praying will do. Like, those were hilarious. And I understand that he was just a guy trying to make a living, and he had to skirt laws and stuff like that, but he's too gratuitous for me, like, gratuitous in his violence against animals, and, like, being very cynical about it, being like, oh, we all have to eat, and, like, this is how I make my living and stuff. He left a really sour taste in my mouth, and I was like, I want you to die. I want you to die. I want you to die. And my wish was finally granted. The ending of this book, I don't want to spoil the way that it ends, but the way that it ends, I haven't read Moby Dick yet. I plan on it. I don't know. I feel like the ending of this book is much more satisfactory than the movie. The movie goes out with a bang, and it's a movie. Duh. So I'm not surprised. But this book, something about it is just very balanced at the end. And it's not even like a peaceful balance. It's just like, tranquility is the wrong word. It's just equilibrium, I guess. And it's a very chilling kind of ending. In a way, like, at first when I read it, I was like, that's very underwhelming, but you know what? I think it works. I think it works well. So I enjoyed it. Not a 5-star, but pretty close. Still rooting for the shark the entire time. I was originally going to start on the audiobook for Christina Day while I was at work, but then I found out that Spotify limits your audiobook hours, even though you're a paying premium member, but you can buy more hours. Yeah, I learned that after listening to a chapter of For Whom the Bell Tolls, and apparently, like, I don't know what the limit is, probably like 15 hours, because I listened to 2 other audiobooks this month for a different challenge, and then an hour of this book, and then it cut me off. So, like, come on. In the last few days of this, though, I'm gonna do my darndest to try and salvage of this what I can. I'm just gonna spooky Valentines it up. I'm gonna Valloween it up in these next few days. And you know what? Because time is an illusion, I may just extend the shenanigans for a few days past Valentine's, because why not? Valentine's is kind of all of February, is it not? So, I don't know. We'll see. Plus, I feel like I just haven't had time to make up for myself, like to have a Halloween kind of moment. And maybe by extending it or just turning it around is embodying the entire emphasis that I tried to get at earlier, which is that while it's being spooky Valentines, the emphasis on love that I want to really delve into is more of a kind of self-appreciation and self-love. And I think right now, my form of self-love would just be to indulge in self-care, in honoring my dopamine, honoring my interest, but also forcing myself to have balance and step back. So I don't know. I don't really have anything particular planned. Maybe this video will just be totally scrapped. But also, this video being imperfect, or imperfect in its planning, is also a perfect showcasing to just showing yourself some love and giving yourself some grace to not always have to go with things according to plan, you know? Okay. I don't know what I'm gonna do now. We'll talk later. Good morning, y'all. I am gonna start kicking off the pickup of this video, the pickup of my Halloween activities, by starting with a giant cup of coffee. My lovely activity embodying self-love is just gonna be sitting here and having a peaceful morning. Intentional, as a lot of the girlies call it. I just call it peaceful. So I'm gonna sit here, drink my coffee, maybe watch an episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That would be Halloweenish. We're gonna do that. I'm gonna be answering questions in my A 5-Year Question a Day journal. I'm gonna be reading some 10-page batches in my book that I should have been reading 10 pages a day in, but I have missed a couple days. I'm also gonna offload my phone of a bunch of photos, catch up on a lot of journaling. I'm just gonna take this morning, chill out, watch some spooky stuff. Maybe I'll watch My Bloody Valentine today too. And I'll probably save it for tomorrow for actual Valentine's Day. But we're gonna pump in, I don't know if I like that term. We're gonna pack in, that is what I meant to say, as much Halloweenish activity today as possible.
Anything? Introduction to the Modern Novel. A survey study of 20th century novelists. Open to freshmen. You might like that.
Introduction to the modern novel. I'm guessing I'd probably have to read the modern novel.
Maybe more than one.
I like books. I just don't want to take on too much. Do they have an introduction to the modern blurb? Maybe I shouldn't take psych.
You gotta. It's fun, and you can use it as your science requirement. Anyway, Professor Walsh is supposed to be great. She's like world-renowned.
How do you get to be renowned? I mean, like, do you have to be nouned first?
Yes, first there's the painful nouning process.
How we feel.
Yeah, right. Have you accepted Jesus Christ as your personal savior? I meant to, and then I just got really busy.
Party Thursday.
Said he wasn't coming back until he had driven to all 50 states.
Did you explain about Hawaii?
Oh, he seems so determined.
Hi.
Oh, hi. Are you Buffy?
Yeah.
Kathy.
Hi. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah.
So, it's
Their dorm room is huge.
I was surprised. Could you hear horror stories about freshman housing? You took the right side.
Yeah. But, if you want it.
No. I just wanted to make sure that that's what you wanted. You excited for classes tomorrow?
Oh my god, the awkwardness is so accurate. Yeah.
To see any of your new movies. Come out to the coast, we'll have a few laughs. Sounds sweet.
Oh, you're so polite. You do it yourself. And then I'm just gonna double hit him. Oh, okay.
Hello, friends, family, loved ones, all configurations of being. Today is Valentine's Day. Today is the actual day. And I have decided that I am gonna extend this for the next few days because the past couple of days have been pretty crap for doing anything, and today has just gone off the rails. So we are going to play into the illusion that, Valloween is more of a spirited feeling. It doesn't just end on Valentine's Day, because time is an illusion, and we can make time what we want. Except, today is a little bit spooky. I have a little bit spooky surprise for you. Also, my rival shirt is my Valentine's wear, and as you saw from B-roll, I did go out with my cousin, have Valentine's dinner, do a little bit of shopping. It was a fun time, but not really anything Valentine's super coded. So we're going to get back into that today, because I hope to find my bloody Valentine somewhere on TV and watch, but we're getting into something a little bit more spooky, because in 10 minutes, I'm supposed to die. Back a couple years ago, there was this, scary movie that came out. If I can remember or find what movie it was, I'll find it and put it in text somewhere. But there came out this app that was, a death counter, and it was supposed to, count down, or maybe I just saw it on Unis Honest. I don't remember, but there was an app that was, supposed to predict, down to the minute, when you were gonna die. And I have the original screenshot, which I will also post along with the timestamp that I took it. And I calculated on that day, or maybe it was a few days after, when that was gonna run out. And that's today. Valentine's Day, 2024, at, 5:45 p.m. 5:45 to 5:47. So, I don't know. I've been waiting on this day for 4 years now, for 3 years and several months. Come on. We're gonna see if that app is full of bull crap, you know what I mean? So that's a little bit spooky, it's a little bit scary. It's supposed to die on Valentine's Day according to an app. It's kinda spooky. Kinda spooky. So I have that going on, and to set the mood, I have popcorn M&Ms. Popcorn and M&M minis. And I'm also watching Markiplier play buckshot roulette, just to get the spooky mood on. And then I'm gonna see if I can find my bloody Valentine somewhere. If I manage to get past the next 10 minutes, because I just got a notification that uh-oh is in 10 minutes, so we're gonna see. I'm sorry this vlog has been kind of BS and a mess, but we do our best here. Honestly, the scariest thing about this vlog is what a mess it is. So, let's get back to watching Spooky Markiplier, which always makes me feel better, and then, once the 10 minutes are up, I'll check in during the 10 minutes, and we can live chat and react, because at least I'll get it on film, if something happens. I'm not gonna do anything, though. I'm so superstitious, I'm not even gonna eat any of these, because I'm so scared of choking. I'm not gonna eat anything those 2 minutes, because it predicts it down to the minute. So if I make it past those minutes, knock on wood. So I'm not gonna do anything, I'm just gonna sit here. I'm not taking my chances. It's gonna have to come get me. I shouldn't have said that. I should not have said that. Jensen Ackles is gonna break down my door with a pickaxe or something. Honestly,
And still, I know people probably say this about this game, but it reminds me a lot of that card game that I play, Inscription, that I like very much. Is it maybe the same guy? It's got the same styles. Well. Also, it turns out that these shotgun shells aren't too deadly. There you go.
it's time, y'all. It's time, and you know what? No need to fear the end. No need to fear the end. Not gonna be on my deathbed, wondering why I was always scared. It's not a Chey video unless she's singing very badly in at least a few parts of it. Let's reflect on my life thus far, in the off chance that the clock was correct. I also just talked to my friend who also did the calculator, the counter the same time I did. I think we did it the same day, and he was like, oh yeah, that thinks that I was supposed to die 4 months after we did that. And he's like, get good, universe, I survived. So, I can't let him win. I gotta stick it out too. So I'm just gonna sit here and mind my own business and just look. Markiplier is looking up at my ceiling, and where I pause the video, and I don't know how I feel about that. I don't like that at all. actually. I don't like the implications of that at all. Reflections on life so far. It's fine, I guess. Would do again. Would do another, not speed run, but would do another playthrough now that I know that there are no saves, no save spots, no save files. Would do another playthrough a little bit differently. But you know what? Feel good about this run, feel good. I feel like it can only get better from here, even though limited as it may or may not be, you know? I plan to have a lot more runtime. I hope this isn't a speed run round, but you know, it's been good so far. It's gonna get a lot better. This year's gonna be great. Speaking positively, because I just gotta make this last for like another minute, because I think I said from 5:45 to like 5:47, so if I can last till 5:48, 5:48, baby! I don't even know what time it is now. I have no idea. Hold on. It's 5:47. It's 5:47. We're almost there. We can do this. We can do this. I think I'm gonna read and edit, considering that I make it through the next minute. I'm gonna probably edit while I don't know, if I can't find My Bloody Valentine, some self-care, self-love that I'm gonna do tonight is I'm gonna stop eating chocolate and sugar, which is probably gonna not, energy and sugar, like, don't mix for me. Like, I don't get energy from sugar, but I still feel pretty crappy after I eat a bunch of it. Not from the energy crash, just from the glucose, because my body doesn't do glucose well. Love PCOS. So I'm gonna stop eating that, and I'm probably gonna have a somewhat early dinner. I may just put on, like, a bunch of scary horror games. Maybe some Doki Doki literature. I don't know. I'm just gonna take care of me tonight, because I really, really need some self-care and self-love, because today it has not been a good head day. It's not been a good brain day. So I might just, you know, do some self-love that way, watch some spooky stuff that I know is, like, good for my soul, makes me feel good, and some music videos and stuff like that. Did we make it? What time is it? We made it! We made it! We made it! Gamers, we made it. That's probably the most cringe thing I've ever done. We're almost at 200 subs. Isn't that wild? 40 are gonna unsubscribe as soon as they see this video. I almost had the thought that, like, I want to continue this until either the end of February or I finish all the books that I said I have planned, because I'm almost done with the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying a Vampire. Almost done with it. I just started Christine. Just started it. And I ran out of audiobooks hours on Spotify, but I'm going to try find it on YouTube somewhere and listen to it there. But I might continue this video until I at least finish those books, and that way I can have a wrap-up at the end of this video for that. But definitely want to make up in my lack of actually adhering to the plans for the vlog, and I feel like, number one, I'm able to do it because it's my video, but number two, just because, like I said, my brain is so black and white thinking that I'm like, no, you can't go past Valentine's Day. You can't, because you need to get this video up soon after Valentine's Day. It's like, girly, calm down, it's not that serious. Girly, calm down, you know? Like, the whole month of Valentine's, that's my point. The whole month of February is, like, Valentine's month. It's Valentine's themed. Because what's the next holiday after this? Like, St. Patty's Day? Or something? So, you know, it's just spring after this, so. I'm just gonna keep it going and probably get this up at the end of February, the beginning of March.
Skadoosh? Oh my god! Oh my god! Do those handcuffs stay on? They still do. Okay, so.
Do I read the creepy note by the creepy chair over here, or do I go in the room and turn the creepy knob with the creepy chair in the room? There are times when all I can think about is murdering someone.
Oh, same.
Oh god, I didn't look up. I wasn't looking. Oh my god.
No ma'am. No ma'am. No ma'am. No ma'am. Simply, no ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Preach. Big preach.
Don't mind if I do.
What? What? Beer.
Goody.
Key. Should be fine.
Calm down, folks. It's a routine questioning. How was the last man to leave the line that night. Maybe he could shine a light on the situation.
I'm having an amazing time. My mental health has been cured. Okay, maybe not, but like, I feel better. This is like a comfort movie for me. Is that weird? Heck no. No. No, ma'am. No. Yeah! Yeah! Woo! Oh, there he is. Oh, get him. Oh, get him. No, dude, shut up. Oh! Oh! He's gonna get ya. Run, Dean! Get your shotgun, Dean! Uh-oh! That's not good. The children yearn for the mines. You! Soldier boy, tell him. Yeah, shoot inside a mine where there's like flammable gases and stuff. That's a great idea. It's adorable. Oh, it's traumatized.
Those mines have been outdated since I was a kid. But my father was just too stubborn to see it, and you know that. Oh. So that's what all this is about. All right.
It's the subtle acting that Jensen Ackles is such amazing at that makes it for me. Just like the little eyebrow motion, just... Jensen Ackles is my favorite actor, probably of all time. It's just the subtleties in all of his facial expressions that just... They're minimal, but like, they make a difference.
And I'm selling mine.
My favorite actor.
That's all there is to it.
You just vanished. Your dad didn't even know where you were. We all started to think that you were dead.
This is dinner. Leftover sushi from today. A lot of wasabi. Some ginger.
I'm sorry.
Hello? If you want to play with that toy, you can take it. It's fine. I have some of like my little knickknacks on a plastic tub, and one just like fell off of it, like hanging from it, because it's like one of those cup things that you bounce like the ball into, you know. I'll show you later, but like it just popped out from like beneath a pile of stuff and is like hanging there. There's no... That's weird. I'm just gonna... Hello everyone. I have just finished a Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. I just sat down in my room. I was on page 200 because I read a little bit last night. I sat down in my room a few minutes ago and I just like read for like 2.5 hours and just finished it off because it was just so good and I knew I could get it done. Quick thoughts on it. It's really good. 5 stars. Real 5-star read. I don't hold that to like a new strict super favorite or anything, but I love Grady Hendrix's writing and the intimate knowledge of just Southern culture, especially white, rich Southern culture, on point. On point, on point. Not that I've ever been a part of rich, white Southern culture, but I have seen enough of it. I've seen enough. Believe me. Believe me. The discussions of classism, the examples of it, love it. Also, what really sold me was the mention of the Bilo bag. My neck got snapped. Alright, my neck got snapped harder than James Harris's, because when I was little, Bilo is like no longer a thing here, but Bilo, we used to have a Bilo, and I just remembered it the other day. I was talking to my mom, I was like, what was that one store, like, where this one used to be, like, wasn't it like Bilo? And she's like, yeah, Bilo. And she's like, they're not around anymore, but it was like a grocery store when I was a kid, and so like that little Southern tidbit, I was like, oh my gosh, that would have gotten 5 stars from me, because just, like, it's the subtleties, you know? I really liked it. I thought it was just a really fun read. I think that's the thing I'll just say the most about it, is it was just a really fun time that just kept me engaged all the way through, and had my jaw dropping in parts, because I was like, no, like, I wasn't surprised, I was just, like, disgusted. And I won't say why. I will say that this book deals with several very heavy themes, so please check trigger warnings before you look into this book before reading it, because there were some things that were just presented and, like, happened, and I was like, okay. Alright, but I love the story. I think it was well done. The pacing was great. The flow was great. The writing style was great. The characters are great. I loved everything about it. It's just a really fun time. Now, all I have to do is finish reading Farrell's and Christine, but I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm kinda sorry if this is, like, distracting anybody, but I'm sitting in the other room just to sit somewhere different. I am coming up blank on Valloween activities to do, because it's such a nice and lovely day outside. It's sunny and 65 in February. Shut up. So I have to go outside today. I have so much other stuff that it's like sending me into an anxiety spiral, but I have to go outside and get my sunshine time or else I will wither and die. But I'm running out of ideas for Valloween, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm too stubborn and have come too far in this vlog to just give up. So, gosh darn it. This was not the most well thought out vlog, but then I keep remembering that I have October clips that I'm gonna put in here, but I don't know if I do want to put them in here or if I just want them to be part of a dopamine diaries. I think it just makes more sense to put them in here because I don't know. I've even been looking up like Valentine's activities and just being like, okay, well, if I look up Valentine's activities, like solo Valentine's activities, then I can just find a way to make them spooky. The problem is that a lot of Valentine's activities, at least according to the internet, involve like going out and spending money, of which I have none. So there's problem. But I have yet to give up. I'm not gonna give up because I'm stubborn and a menace. So, in practicing love for Valloween, practicing love towards myself, but making it spooky, I'm just gonna focus on doing things I love and adding, you know, spookier, creepier twists to it. I think that fits. Maybe I'll be the person to come up with Valloween activities. I don't know. Time's kind of already passed for it, but we're just gonna do it. We're just gonna have a good time. And the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get changed out of my... The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get changed and I'm gonna dress like I would for a self-date day at home. That's a Valloween activity. I'm just gonna give myself a creepy Valentine's Day self-date at home. It's trying to add a spooky twist on it though when everything is so pretty and wonderful outside and cheerful. I guess that won't be part of it. I guess we'll see what I make of it. I do have a Reese's pumpkin calling my name though. Because I have no money and I don't really feel like going anywhere or driving anywhere, today is just gonna be a stay-at-home self-Valloween date, if you will. And being is that I'm gonna treat it as a self-date, I have a few things planned for me. And I guess y'all, because you're coming along. I'm gonna get dressed up comfortably, but nice. Gonna make myself a really nice lunch, spend a lot of time outside, do a lot of reading outside, some journaling, have some snacks. Then come in and just, I guess, kind of see where the dopamine takes me, but probably watch a couple scary movies or some scary, probably not scary movies, my attention span is way too short. Chey, you're taking yourself out on a date, you're having a stay-at-home self-date, what do you want to do but make it spooky? I thought about staying outside until it's dark and reading underneath the lights that I have on my front porch, just when it starts to get real spooky and kind of creepy and lonely here in the woods at night. That's spooky, but also something that I would take myself out on a date to do. Reading together underneath the stars, but since it's me, it's just me reading with me underneath the stars. But it's also spooky and creepy because we're in the woods, so. Also, snuggle up on the couch with a bunch of snacks and probably watch some horror game playthroughs because I'm behind on those. Enough talking about it though, let's get up, get dressed, and get to it. So I dug something out of the wardrobe that I haven't worn in a long time, but you know what? I kind of want to start on my tan, and it's spooky, so... I think that's all that there is to say, honestly. You know, spooky, I love it. I love it. She's making her grand reappearance. She needs to be worn more. I also have some matching pajama bottoms that are like skeletons on them, but way too short to be worn on YouTube. They're sleeping shorts. So I just have my basketball shorts on, but look, you can see my tattoo. My tattoo makes its first appearance after, like, total healing. It's finally cool enough to get to show off my tattoo and get more. Hell yeah. It's time to get some lunch, and then we're gonna head outside. Actually, I'm gonna go feed Stormy first, then I'm gonna make myself some lunch, and we're gonna go outside. So I always make holiday art to put on my fridge, just like little doodles. You can see the Halloween one, just some bats, and Christmas over there. I can make a Valloween themed one. That'll be a great self-date day idea. Craft time, Valloween art for the fridge. Also, I am going to be picking up another book because it's my next book in Jante's Inferno, another readathon I'm doing. I'm going to be reading The Ghost and Mrs. Muir. It's a paranormal romance from the 40s, 50s. I saw the movie. It was adapted from this book back in the 40s. Yeah, originally published in 1945, made into a movie in 1947. I love the movie, and so I have high hopes for the book. And since it's a paranormal romance, fits the vibes of this book. I should have been reading more paranormal romances. What's wrong with me? But I'm going to be reading this in this vlog as well. But my summary and wrap-up will be... will be in another vlog. There has been more and more paranormal activity around this house lately. I don't know what's going on, but spooky stuff's been happening. Last night I was saying goodnight to the house, and can you stop? The front door keeps swinging open in the wind. It's scaring the crap out of me. But last night I was saying goodnight to the house, and loud bang happened. I was like, what the was that? And it was my toothbrush falling over. And then just when I was filming earlier, that thing fell off the tub in my room. And I'm like, y'all, can we please stop scaring me? Please? Though that doesn't compare to the time that I was cutting up a potato over by the stove, and I had the knife, and I swear to you, I heard a woman's voice go, oh! And right as I heard that, the knife dropped and almost landed on my feet. We're gonna go feed Stormy before I get even more spooked. Okay, y'all, I got my Ray-Bans on, I got my chair in the yard, it's sunshiny, it's nice. We're gonna sit out here for the next few hours. I'm gonna read and journal and just have a good, nice early afternoon to myself. I feel good about myself, I feel like I'm looking good, I'm feeling good, feeling much better than this morning. So I'm just gonna chill and have a date with myself, an afternoon, evening date with myself in my spooky little clothes and my spooky little paranormal romance and Christine and my journals and all that good stuff. That's what we're gonna do. Just an afternoon to myself. We love it. Stormykins! Stormykins! What you doing, bub? My phone has been charging, so I've just been out here by myself, except for Mr. Stormy, and I've been reading The Ghost of Mrs. Muir and Christine a little bit. I'm a couple chapters into Christine. I don't know how I feel about it. I like it, but also I'm like, some of the language, like the way things are talked about, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I can just attest it to the characters and be like, oh, I don't like that character, because, you know, the N-word was said several times, but it was said by, like, a very old, crotchety old man, and so it's like, is that the characterization? I don't know. But I'm gonna keep trying. Ghost of Mrs. Muir is going really well. I'm 50 pages or so into it, and it's only 170, so I'm definitely gonna finish it today. I hate the way that looks behind me. Definitely gonna finish it today. I'm really enjoying it. It's such a fun time. The banter is... I love it so much. But now I'm gonna sit out here and journal for a little bit, do some writing for some upcoming projects. That'll be fun. Then I'll get back to reading. Probably put on a long sleeve shirt or like a blanket and sit out here and read as the sun starts to go down. Get a lot of reading done today. I'm in a big reading mood, but I also have so many other videos I need to finish. Valloween update. Look at this angle. I'm kind of obsessed with it. I'm not gonna lie. I just recorded several clips sitting at this angle because I love it, and the sun is coming back out. So what does that tell us? Also, I seem to have gotten a little bit of a tan sitting outside today. Hell yeah. So I am massively enjoying my little self-date day at home, if you can't already tell. Being outside does freaking wonders for me, especially when the sun shines out. I am having the best Halloween date with myself ever. That may not be saying much because this is the only one that I've ever had, Halloween date wise. I took myself on a Valentine's date last year, but Halloween, this is the first. And you know what? The others are gonna have something to really live up to, I tell you that, because I'm having a good time. I'm feeling it, feeling myself, you know? I'm reading a lot, I'm doing a lot of good writing, I've got my crows behind me. Now if the trucks would just shut up whenever I'm trying to film, that would be great. But I'm having a really good time. I got beautiful scenery around me. I got beautiful books. The crows are just adding to their spooky ambience. That's why I don't mind them. I love the crows. I would much rather the crows than the trucks. The trucks don't really add anything spooky, but the crows, they're always welcome. Not just on Halloween, they're welcome anytime. My Halloween self-date day at home is going well, though. That is a mouthful, and I try to say it every single time. It's going well. Probably gonna get ready to go inside, have my Reese's pumpkin, and curl up, do some more reading, and watch some horror game videos. I feel like I want to wait till later in the evening for that, though. I might go with my original plan and just stay out here and read till dark. I don't know. But I'm feeling good. I'm doing a lot of self-reflection sitting out here, too, as nature is wont to make me do. I don't know. I went from feeling pretty crappy to actually having a really good day. So good job, Chey. Self-date success. Halloween is all we needed. Because I'm a constant work in progress. Life is a constant work in progress. And the world can be harsh enough as is. We all deserve some self-love. I went into this day, into this self-date day, with the energy, with the purpose of, okay, I'm really going to treat myself today. I'm going to do the things I love because I love myself, and I'm going to be kind to myself. I'm just going to show myself love by embracing the things that I really enjoy, that bring me joy. And I'm going to honor myself in that way. And guess what? I have gone from a really crappy mood to being in a really great mood. Also, being outside helps, you know, sunshine, fresh air, and all that. But upon further reflection, I think the biggest thing to take away from today is that the energy that I came into this self-date day with, that whole approach of honoring myself and embracing what I love and what brings me joy, and just treating myself the way that I should have been treating myself all these years, which is cutting myself some slack, embracing what I really like to do, and just, you know, having fun and being kind and nice to me. Mostly cutting myself a lot of slack. That I don't just need to have this for singular self-date days. I need to take this attitude into an everyday approach. I need to have some of that mindset every day. And honestly, I think I would probably feel a lot better. That's something to work on. That's pretty, not a heavy reflection, that's a pretty introspective reflection for a date. I think the sun is going to start to go down. So I think I'm going to move to the porch. I may sit in the grass for the next few minutes. I'm going to stop doing that because that's going to make the audio terrible. Chey, if you don't hear it from anyone else today, I love you. You look really pretty today. Nature is really pretty. You look really pretty. You're feeling really pretty. What more can we ask for? Honestly, $1 million might help, but that's neither here nor there. Mammon? Mammon be like, where? I finished The Ghost and Mrs. Muir. It was really good. 5 stars. Like I said, my thoughts are going to be in a completely other video, but I also will probably bring it up in another video in the future because it's just so good. The banter, The companionship, 5 out of 5 stars. So many good quotes about life and love and perspective in general, but one of my favorites is when the captain is talking about some of the men that she knows, and she brings up a man, and he goes, a codfish with a conscience. I love him so much. I kind of want to watch the movie now. That would be a great movie to watch for Halloween, if I can find it anywhere online. As for the rest of the Halloween plans, I'm back inside, for now. I'm gonna wait till the sun goes down, then I'm gonna go outside and read in Christine a little bit more. But until then, I'm gonna curl up in here with my Reese's White Pumpkin. It's the last one that I have left. I'm probably gonna go sit over on the couch, curl up in a blanket, and watch some horror video games while the sun is setting. It really saddens me because I want to go outside and sit in the sun, but it's pretty cloudy and it's really windy and kind of cold, so I might as well come in and just start getting cozy and just start getting ready for a night in and a good date night at home. And we're gonna start by having this white pumpkin. I almost said white Russian. That would not be correct whatsoever. For many reasons, but especially because I don't drink, so that's not a pumpkin. That's a whole lung. That's a whole lung, which, you know what, kind of makes it spookier. Not gonna lie. Treat yourself. Oh yeah, this is much better. I'm back inside for reading, got a few more chapters down, and now it is time for the Get Cozy Stay In date night. Read a few more chapters, got some good reading done, and now it is time for the Get Cozy Stay In curl up portion of this self-date night. And the biggest part of that is I'm gonna make myself my favorite dinner. I'm gonna technically light some candles, and I'm gonna put on some of my favorite horror gameplay that also won't give me nightmares before I go to sleep. But also, we're not gonna be a coward. We are gonna watch a few of the scariest ones, or some ones that I haven't seen yet. But first, let's get started on dinner, because I'm starving. I'm not gonna worry about vlogging that. You've seen people make food before. It's just gonna be chicken tenders and a sweet potato. I'm a simple girl. I could have that meal every single day. Well, for every single meal of the day. Just in case y'all thought I was joking about the candlelit dinner, I'm not. It is time for me to get nice and very, very, very cozy. And to do that, I did not plan on this, but I am both wearing my cloak shirt and I'm gonna put on my cloak blanket. This is honestly no promo, obviously, I'm not sponsored. Probably the softest, comfiest blanket that I own, besides my Dollar General yellow fluffy blanket. So, I am cozy rosy. Right now, I am all snuggled up and cozy. I look like a child. Now that I am all snuggled up, I have dinner, I got my candles. It's time to put on some good YouTube. Oh, but I was watching Good Mythical Morning. I was watching Good Mythical Morning. I guess I should cut the lights out, huh? Oh no. Drew! No, Drew, hush! Me too, Drew. Oh my gosh, he is like Drew Gooden. That's crazy. Biggest jump scare of my life. Okay, what do I want to watch? I think I want to watch some classic, maybe not classic Markiplier, but I want to watch some Markiplier scary games. I've decided we're going to start the night off with this video, and then My Eyes Deceive, and then end off with some Mark, Bob, and Wade action with Demonologist. We get a little scare, we get a lot of laughs, we get a lot of love. You can't tell me these three don't love each other more than anything else in the world. You know they do. Except for whenever they want to kill Wade. Don't Scream video is so funny. I think about the line where he's like, this forest is full of losers every time I step outside now, pretty much.
Hello, everybody. My name is Markiplier, and welcome to Techie Moonlit Dread. I don't know who that is, and I don't know why they're there. But I have a funny feeling that they need help, judging by all the blood, so I'm gonna go help them. Some people have suggested that this incident may be linked to the urban legend of Tik, a ghost of a woman who was cut in half by a train and now haunts the station areas. They have asked the public to stay... I don't know if you guys have been following Distractable, but my light is haunted. And it has been haunted for quite some time.
I am so simple to make laugh. My sense of humor is so broken. Especially when it comes to Markiplier. I don't know what it is. We have very similar senses of humor, and he just, it gets me. His facial expressions, when he looked at that light, side note while we're here and, you know, focusing on love and all that, I want to compliment myself. There's one thing that I do love about myself, and no matter there is one thing that I've always loved about myself, no matter how I'm feeling about myself in the moment, no matter how throughout the years I felt about my physical appearance, you know, attractiveness, like that kind of self-image, there's one thing I've always given myself credit for. I think I'm hilarious. Not in the way that I think I'm the funniest person on earth, but I think that I have a good sense of humor. I think that I can be very witty. I think that I'm funny. I'm funny, at least to me. And I've always given myself credit for that. Like, if someone's like, what do you like about yourself? I'm like, I think I'm funny. And a lot of your sense of humor is you, but like any other part of you, it's something that is influenced and developed as you have different interactions with people, as you engage with different media and cultures and stimuli as you grow up. But some of it is just born into you. It's ingrained, you know, it's part of your personality. And what I'm getting at is... some people have asked me about my facial expressions that I make, like punctuating sentences and stuff like that, like where that comes from. Some of it is me, yes, of course, but I also attribute some of it to just growing up on Markiplier, which, if he ever heard that statement, would probably make him feel very old. But I have been watching Mark since the beginning of Drunk Minecraft, because that's how I found him. So I'm that old, and, you know, watching him for that long is definitely going to have an effect. I hate this already. That train sound is too much like Michael Myers. I hate it already.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Cereal and tea bags, snacks, dish soap. Okay. Freaking why? What? Oh! Tee-hee! Oh, God. Aren't you tired yet? Now that you mention it, no! Oh, I should go to bed. Henry, I swear, if Henry doesn't stop barking, I'm going to bring him in here and I'm going to put him on camera. He does not like that, but I'm going to do it if he doesn't stop barking. Oh, he's done it now!
That's me with Hank. That's me and Hank, 100%. My little wiggle boy. He also doesn't like to get on camera.
Henry's here. Henry? Why are you barking?
I can ask.
Oh, I'll buy some drugs.
These things are so expensive.
I know. No, you're just broke, Mark. That's why death really sucked for me, because I didn't have any money, and now I've got even less than I did.
What? But then how are you even supposed to find a ghost if you don't have anything? Here
Mark,
we go.
We got a weege, Mark.
I'm gonna weege it up right by the Yano.
Gonna weege. UV light.
How do I weege?
Good morning. Chey here with some... What is happening with my bangs? Chey here with some... It may be disappointing to you, but good news. This vlog has to come to an end. I know, everybody boo, but it does. It has to come to an end, and I realized that if I carried this vlog to when I actually got to finish Christine, it would probably go on for about a month. And I'm stubborn, I want to get this up before the end of February. So, to rectify that, I said, okay, I do want to read a significant portion of Christine, because that was like a, big part of the thing. But I'm not going to finish it. I'll just have to post the update somewhere when I finish it, probably in one of my Dopamine Diary vlogs, which is a very fun series that I'm doing, and you should check it out. Playlist will be linked up above and so below. But I said, you know what, this book is in parts, and so let me at least finish part 1, because that's 215, or like 200 and something pages in. That's a pretty significant portion. It's about 1/3 of the way through. And I did. I got to part 2, which is called Arnie Teenage Love Songs. I like it. I'm liking it more and more. There's less slurring happening, which is always a good thing. And so that's leading me to think that it is more just the character effect rather than the writer. I don't mean that to badmouth Stephen King. I genuinely am not that familiar with his writing, so I'm not that I've only read 2 other books by him, so I don't want to give any spoilers away from this book, but also this movie's been out for like 40 years. I'm gonna make a lot of people feel old probably by saying that, but I really like it. I really like the movie. I like the premise of the movie. It's been years since I've seen the movie. I'm really liking the book so far. You know what? It's a little slow to develop in the plot pacing, but you know what? I don't mind it, because the writing, I really like Stephen King's writing style in this book. I don't know, something about it just feels a little bit different. It's really a balance of give and take when it comes to information and mystery and introspection. I read From a Buick 8. From a Buick 8 was the second Stephen King book I ever read, one of only 3, and I really liked that one too, but that one, I guess it was more supposed to be, like, in segments, because it was about, like, dates and, like, how much before and how much after. But I don't know, something about the writing style in this, like, it's 215 pages in, and I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, the car has not killed anyone yet, which has shocked me. But I kind of like it that way, because it's more of a build-up, but it's not so much of a build-up that I'm like, gag me. Like, this is taking way too long, and I'm one of the most impatient people on the planet. So, I'm impressed. I'm impressed at that, being able to balance that. Because it's enough give and take to where I can see something building, I can see something coming, and I'm like, okay. Alright, I'll wait. I am having a good time so far. The scene with the shop teacher and the fight out back, let me just tell you, reminded me of my favorite teacher in high school, which was, no surprise, our ag shop teacher. I love him so much, I still keep in contact with him, one of my favorite human beings on the planet. The characterization of this shop teacher in this book being, like, the kids, they're not scared of him, but they respect him, and, like, they know they can't get away with crap in his class because he will not stand for it. They can't buck up against him, or, like, they don't clown around in his class. He's not a pushover like the other teachers who are, like, secretly scared of kids. I was like, yep, that's him. 100%, that's him. Why does my nose look nosy-rosy? Am I okay? That's a good question. I don't know. I plan on finishing this as soon as I can, and I will promise to update you in a Dopamine Diary. Those are slowly coming out, but it will eventually come out when I finish this book. Maybe that's where I'll start putting some of my book reviews. If you haven't noticed, I've kind of stopped doing monthly book wrap-up review videos because they really made me feel like I was on a time crunch while reading, because I was like, okay, well, I want to finish as many books as possible for the end of this month. That way I can put them in the video, and then I gotta spend time to film the video, and I gotta edit it, and I gotta upload it, and that just took away time from other projects that I wanted to do more. So I'm not saying that they're gone forever, they're just gone for right now, and I'm gonna do my reviews and wrap-ups in other ways, and I've read a lot of books since I've stopped doing my monthly wrap-up videos, so I'm not gonna worry about putting a review for every single book somehow in a video, but the ones that stand out to me, I'll probably just put them, like I said, in a Dopamine Diary or something. And since I don't want this video to last forever, I definitely will put my finished review up in a Dopamine Diary whenever that's up, and then that way whenever someone is watching this video in the future, if that video is up, I will link it down in the description below. That way you can just clink over to that video and watch the review with a timestamp and all that good stuff. I'm making a lot of promises, Chey. I hope your ADHD remembers that. There is one more activity I want to do before this Valloween ends, though. I'm going to stick to my Valloween craft time. I showed y'all the art that I have on my refrigerator for every holiday season. I need to make one for Valloween, so that is going to be the last thing we're going to do in this vlog. I'm going to do a little wrap-up outro-y thing, then we're going to get the heck out of here. Art is officially done. I have made a mess of the table, of which no one is surprised. Y'all saw the whole chaotic process, but I think it's really cute. I have to cut off the back because I folded this in half. But I think it's really cute. It turned out different than I expected, but I ran out of inspiration about halfway through, and then I just started thinking of some other stuff, and I really like it. I love it, actually. I love it. I love it a lot. It's gonna go on a special spot on the fridge. And honestly, that is a Halloween activity in more ways than one, more than just making art for the holiday, if you will. Making art for me definitely is a self-love, self-care practice because I don't make time for it enough. I write a lot. Writing is my primary form of art. I almost just took a drink of my glue. I thought about taking a drink of my coffee and I almost went like this. Let's put this away. Oh, look, glue all over it. Writing is my primary form of the way that I make art, but I also love to doodle and draw and doodle-daddle, if you will. I'm not a great artist in that sense. It's not my primary talent, but that doesn't mean I can't enjoy it and I can't have fun. If I'm bad, that's everyone else's problem, just like my general existence here on Earth. I've been trying to make more time for doodling art, though, for drawing art, because drawing is something that I do want to get better at. I've spoken about this in several videos. I don't plan on being like an artist professionally or anything like that, but for my own skill, like I want to improve it. And also the way that I write from a very cinematic perspective. Like in my brain, I see different cinematic shots. If you've ever paid attention to the way that Supernatural is shot, cinematically, I just said the word and I lost it. If you've ever paid attention to how Supernatural is shot cinematically, like the camera angles and stuff like that, that's the best way that I can describe how I see my writing in my brain, in order of like what details I focus on, who's saying what they look like across the room, their facial expressions, things like that. Shout out to my bestie for pointing out, I think it was my best friend that pointed that out to me once. They were like, you write like Supernatural is filmed, and I was like, that's interesting. I've been writing way before I was ever into Supernatural, so that's an interesting comment, because I have no doubt that probably Supernatural, and just like any other media that we intake throughout our childhood and people and influences and stuff, it influences us in other areas. But I think I've always kind of written that way. Anyway, point being, I'd like to get better at drawing, because I'd kind of like to storyboard out some of these scenes that I have written, to get a better sense of them, to get a better feel for them. And the problem is that I'm a perfectionist, and so if I'm not immediately good at something, I just don't want to do it. I'm getting better at that, though, and this practice is kind of helping, having no expectations for what to draw, just actually doodling and having fun with it and just playing around with markers. I think that's the biggest element I'm trying to reincorporate into my life, is just playing. Looking at life is just a time to play. Like Vonnegut said, we're here on Earth to fart around. I mean, I think playing is really good for the soul, for the human soul. Of course, there's a time for business, there's a time for seriousness, but You grow old when you stop playing with things, when your curiosity and your imagination stops. And yeah, this took like, what, 30 minutes? Maybe an hour? But I'm so proud of it, and it's gonna hang on my fridge forever. But I've never been one of those people that, like, needs to learn to spend time alone. I see a bunch of those vlogs, a bunch of those videos being like, I'm trying to learn to spend time alone. That's pretty much been my entire life. I have no siblings. I'm an only child. I didn't really hang out with anybody in school except for like 1 or 2 people, and they were like mainly like my best friend is 2 years older than me, so she had her own group of friends, you know, in high school, and I was just like, especially when we were in high school, like we hung out and stuff, but she had her own group of friends. And she got her license earlier than I did, so she was out doing stuff, out, you know, working jobs, part-time jobs, while I just kind of sat at home and created stuff and wrote stuff and watched stuff. Mostly watching YouTube, watching Markiplier and the Vanos gang. I've spent a lot of time alone myself. I'm pretty comfortable being alone myself. And I'm thankful for that. I'm really grateful, and I'm glad that people are trying to learn more about themselves and trying to learn how to spend time with themselves, because I think it's an important skill and mindset to be able to have and just do. Because at the end of the day, you're going to be with yourself throughout your life. You're the one person that's always going to be with you from the beginning of your days to the end of your days. And so it's important that you get to know who you're spending your most time with. My phone died while I was trying to film this, so I'm holding you on the charger, and with the sheer audacity and the will of something stronger than I am, we're gonna finish this out. I can only hope that it didn't erase the footage that I just spent the past, like, 9 minutes taping. Summary of thoughts on this little Halloween experiment, though. I will definitely do it again next year, but I will definitely try to plan it more thoroughly. I just was trying to get a feel for this year's theme and kind of panicked film. This is one of the most chaotic, disjointed vlogs I've ever done, but it was very fun. Very all over the place, but very fun, as it was most of my life. No one's shot. I got to spend some really good quality time with myself, showing myself a lot of self-love that I've been needing lately. And in some fun, spooky ways, too. So, all in all, mission successful. I am currently not in a relationship. I currently just got out of a relationship very recently, and everything's fine. We're still best friends. It's just like it was a mutual decision that was reached, and I'm not going to say much more about it, but I have been in some dire need of some self-love, self-care, finding out more about who I am time. I've never been one to rely on another person in a relationship, be dependent, but it's just weird when you go from allotting a lot of your time, a lot of your routine, a lot of your day with someone else to, like, not. To, like, relearn, I guess. So I guess I'm kind of going back a little bit on, like, learning how to spend time with myself. It's not really relearning. I guess it's just re-emphasizing and reevaluating how I spend time with myself and making it more of a priority, because for the past long time, it's been a long time, that, like, it's me. It's primarily me, you know? It's not me and this other person. It's me. So this vlog couldn't have come at a better time, because this was real-time me focusing on myself and showing myself self-love and wanting to practice it, making it more of a practice, which is kind of what Dopamine Diaries is about too. But this was a real focus on just, you know, treating myself as special as I ought to be treating myself. Not as God's gift to earth, but just, you know, a human person deserving and worthy of love and care and treating myself with joy and respect. Yeah, it couldn't have come at a better time. I'm really glad for this. It was fun. Thank you for sticking around. If you stuck around, you're amazing, and I hope you're showing yourself some self-love. I hope you are taking care of yourself. Drink water. I'm gonna spend the rest of the morning reading and working on some stuff. I got a lot of fun stuff coming up for y'all. A lot of good stuff coming. I think this year is gonna be a really good one. I know this year is gonna be a really good one. I'm excited. I'm excited to make stuff for y'all. I'm excited for y'all to see it. I'm just excited to be making stuff again. I'm excited to see how this year unfolds. I've got good feelings. Thank y'all for hanging out with me on this wonderful month, because it's almost been a month-long vlog. I got a lot more fun stuff, a lot more chaotic stuff on the way. Vlogs, scripted videos, book challenges, music videos, a whole plethora of stuff, a whole cornucopia of stuff. And if you want to be around to partake in that chaos, I'd love to have you. Make sure to hit that subscribe button below. But as for right now, thank y'all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you ain't heard it from anyone else today, I love you. Love and peace. Bye!